There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it. This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Иди со мной. Раз, два, проверка звука.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home.
Раз, два, проверка звука. О, звук есть. Всем привет. Сейчас, подождите, мне кое-что сделать надо. Да, знаю. У меня, короче, как всегда, планы идут не по плану. Ну, короче, кто понял, тот понял. Проще говоря, через одно место. Так вот, выходные стрим будет, не знаю. Я его решил раньше провести. Сегодня у меня просто возможность выдалась. Я не знаю, сколько будет стрим идти, сразу говорю. И будет он вообще нормально проходить или нет. Потому что, зная, как микрофон у меня сейчас выступает, я там вроде бы знаю, как его сейчас настроить, чтобы он включенный был как сейчас. Но он там через одно место включается, так что, возможно, стрим нормально и провести не получится. Надеюсь, нормально все пройдет. Так, что я хотел... вот, по заданию мне надо. Ёшкин дождь. Ладно, сейчас залезу там. Так, не помню, я всем привет говорил или нет. Ё-моё. Сейчас так комфортно, серьезно. Полетели. Так, интересно, там где внизу она будет. Серьезно, внизу все-таки, ладно. Вниз так вниз, схожу вниз. Ой, господи.
Now that we made it to Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your sister. But even so, people call Sumeru the Nation of Wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the God of Wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information. But, Paimon doesn't know the way to Sumeru City. Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of this. Even if we can't see exactly where the city is, at least we'll be able to check for some small... Wait a second. Look! Perfect timing! Now we can just ask for directions rather than wander around like lost adventurers. Hey there! We're not from around here, and... Huh? Did they not hear Paimon? Hey! You over there! Could you give us some directions?
Huh?
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Oh, wait! Could she be ignoring us? How dare she? Well, even so, she might be heading someplace where we could find other people to ask. When we get the chance, we'll just ask someone else for... Come on, let's follow her. Just keep quiet. Make sure she doesn't notice us. Huh? She just walked near that small waterfall and then suddenly... Paimon thought this cave would lead to a village or something. But, look, she's sitting over there. Wait, what should we do now? Do we try asking her for directions again? It looks like she's meditating. Oh. It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. What? Is the smell making you feel sick? What's happening? Traveler?
Все, загрузка 3-часовая сейчас будет. Так, секунду, я время просто гляну. Все, извиняюсь. Ё-моё. Да. Клевое место. Куда же бегать не дают, к сожалению. Клево, что ты, феечка со мной ходит. Если я назад пойду, мне просто интересно, что случится. Так неинтересно. И сразу тупеют. Я думал, хотя бы что-нибудь скажет. И просто разрынется. Опять трехчасовая загрузка. Ну чё, подождем, что сделаешь. Микрофон что-то у меня уходит все время.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says that he's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now? Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at... good question. This is Gandharvaville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a... My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here.
Мне почему-то вот лесной дозор, типа, мне стажер, вот мне почему-то Эмбер сразу вспомнилось. Это отряд Волнуса, как-то так назывался, если не ошибаюсь у них.
Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. He gave you some while you were unconscious. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more medicine once you wake up. Whoops!
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these.
Sorry.
Now, the guide to Avidia Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board, but if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to give him a good talk.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure to charge him accordingly.
Я бы сказал, о чем я подумал. Да, боюсь, забанят. Этот стрим.
So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He's chief officer over all the...
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training in meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use it in hopes of asking directions. You two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was the spirit. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition, as you experienced firsthand. Does that make sense? Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences, or did you see anything while unconscious? Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir. Now get a move on and be sure to do as...
Yes, Master Tainari. Wait, hold on a sec.
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, it appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharvaville for further
Further observation?
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Oh, are you?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out, aren't you? So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's high. The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen for now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least until you stop having adverse reactions to this kind of smell. Okay? Good. Now, continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived in Sumeru and Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really... Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worrying about you. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. But why didn't... If you misjudge your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? But if that's the case... Oh, Paimon gets it now. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out what's going on with your hallucinations. But it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think? Good idea. Kale's pretty friendly. We can ask her tomorrow about what she knows regarding the Dendro Archive.
Дайте мне подраться.
Sunshine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale.
Я вообще где нахожусь? А, серьезно? Ёшкин дождь. Я даже не помню, тут вообще ходил или нет.
All right, next let's see your right hand. But please remember that you still need to be...
Yes, I will. By the way, Master.
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one, so you won't be coming along this time. Besides, there's a chance we may encounter...
But I have a vision too.
Don't talk like that, Kale. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try lending a hand.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Kale could take you to... And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tainari, we're ready to head out.
Got it! I'll be right there! Alright, we'll be...
Yes, you can count. So, Kale, Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really sound like the job for a ranger. Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty... They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest facilities, ensuring fire prevention standards are met, and providing assistance to travelers and locals. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of... Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way... Paimon, traveler, this way!
Куда?
You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual.
Сейчас, погодите минуту.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Так, все, я тут. Пока есть время, фигню помаюсь, как говорится. Блин. Есть. Ёшкин дождь. Повезло, стамина позволяет так прыгать. Живой. Никуда. И походу выше. Надо. Я уже думал, не показалось. Так. Так. Есть контакты, чего полечили? Да, скажем, регионов этих все больше и больше, а мы все для них собирать. Я не понимаю людей, вот, которые прям зачищают карту на 100%. Ну не, я понимаю, когда я прям прошел уже все, что доступно, чисто зачищаешь карту так. А просто если бегать, это связано.
Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones. Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me... no problems with this lamp. Good.
Блин, я хотел стукнуть, МСК получить.
The statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. You must have seen it when you came down this road before. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you don't clean the statue. Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then. There's not much... Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard-to-reach areas. By the way, Kale, do you know anything about... that depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, or... Huh? Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Oh, is that the name of the fort? Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred years ago. According to what Master has told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Sarastana. Uh-huh. Well, and then... Huh? You're not too sure? Yeah, I'm from Sumeru. Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't because you two know... Wait, Amber? You mean...
О, знать правильно, так сказал.
Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. You could even say that she helped... There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled. Sorry.
Я лучше промолчу.
I thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described. Sorry. I was rambling on just now. It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've...
Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, consider...
Ah!
Yep, so please know that you two have... I wish I could tell you more about the Dendro Archon, but I have been away from Sumeru for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Ruka Devata or the Sanctuary of Surus.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask. So that's why you're here. Thank you.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? Alright,
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy. Let's meet...
Там где-то, там не лень туда. Я просто... Стоп, я же могу просто по-другому сделать. Все, чё.
now that Paimon looks at it, the deity that's carved on the
Кстати,
statue is...
впервые у меня такое, что я прям не упал на уровень ниже, получается. Когда ты прыгаешь к этой статуе, я прям стою возле нее.
Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Ruka Devata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? You might be right. The statue... Well, anyway, we'll have to... Let's get started on cleaning the statue. Paimon will fly up and take care of the top and you clean everything below.
Погоди, не болтай, я хочу кое-что сделать. Что у меня по этим? Все 4, да? До 200. До 200. До 20. Так, я как всегда хорошо разговариваю. Про домик, да? Или сейчас я в домике? Нет, не в домике. Может снизу где-то? А, ну вон, да. Как туда попасть? Так, ладно, в домик можно в этот попасть как-нибудь? А, да. Не, я так на всякий случай просто проверил, может что-нибудь будет.
Welcome back! You must be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little break. I brought some fruit and water.
Yay! Food! What kind of goodies did you bring? Hey, don't be a party pooper. It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way...
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like them. No, not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, those pitas are amazing! You're quite the cook, Kale. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how... Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking...
Yay! Thanks, Kale! It's hard to believe someone as diligent as you could have clumsy moments, too.
Oh,
Kale, don't you think that Tainari's a little too... Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything. Everyone has...
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's actually very kind-hearted. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature. But Master is actually very kind at heart. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called, something?
Сейчас до вечера. Это если я тебе какой-то ключе дом, конечно. Сама не а, ну что, я ключи
Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, but Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. Seems you already know him well. Anyway, I'm sure the sages were not happy about his response. Master could obviously have a bright future in the Academia, but he insists on sticking to the path of a forest watcher. Every day he helps the locals of the forest and passes on his extensive knowledge to train. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Oh, speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. He even carried you all the way here. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little. But, it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why, is he going to die? It probably started...
Hey! Don't laugh! Hey! Now even Kali's starting to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this. It's time for some primordial wrath!
No! Don't touch me!
Oh, sorry, Kale. Paimon?
No, I just...
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm... I'm fine. Oh, well, it's getting late now. Let's hurry back to Gandharvaville.
Huh? What was up with Kale just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden?
И сразу чисто потемнело. Что-нибудь продаешь? А, серьезно? Сыграть можно?
traveler. You've returned.
Yep, we're back.
Oh, Kale?
Oh, okay. Guess we'll just have...
А, этот цветок блестел. Так, какие там? 8, да. Как местный гопник, чисто посижу на лавочке.
Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be. Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go check on her.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go.
Huh? Tainari? What are you doing here?
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply, she's not...
You mean she's sick? How could she be...
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now.
So, Tainari, what...
Let's take this conversation. All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am, well, because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to...
So, Tainari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some...
Right. Ever since she was a child.
Elazar?
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on... At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on affected areas of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
Так, сейчас поедете приду.
seem to be acting...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a... Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What?
Ah, it appears you already are familiar with them. That'll save me some Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon...
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that
She doesn't need to apologize. None of...
Well said. I hope you'll... Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led her to break down this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. Alright, now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine.
Yeah, we'd like to do...
Alright, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering.
No problema.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as the Nilot Pala Lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilot Pala Lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. The Nilot Pala Lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, and is completely contrary to its name.
Oh, huh. Okay then. Note to Paimon. Never bring up the topic of flowers with Tainari.
Сейчас договорили. Просто хочу кое-что попробовать сделать.
Time to go. One with nature. A fateful offering.
Сейчас я просто хочу кое-что глянуть. А, значит, еще выполняю. Нормально. Так. Я просто специально ждал, я просто, чтобы во время случайно из-за испытаний не перебилось, получается, ну вот эти субтитры не перебились. Я уже забыл, как они называются, как там. Может, я что, ближе? Ну, не, что я лечить лучше пробегусь нормально, так что...
Go.
Так не работает. Ладно.
There should be Nilode Lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and be... If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that will rendezvous here once you've gathered the...
Хотя если я вот так сделаю...
The wind knows me.
Не работает.
Alright, we've gathered enough Nilode Lotuses. Let's... Hey, Tainari! We found the...
Let me have a look. Good. Very good. These are all excellent. I'm glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seems we even have enough time to stock up on other things I need.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari! Someone's calling your name!
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? Let's go find out what's going on.
Блин, ну заложила. Или мне тогда показалось.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already cleared just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area. So we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't...
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading. So we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with...
Wait, Tainari! Why don't
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Sumeru rainforest. It's called the withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't care...
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's...
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities. Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision, but he's a real pro at using...
Seems the rumors about you were true then. In that, we typically only teach visitors how to identify the withering as they're about to leave Gandharvaville. We'll make an exception today.
На экскурсию по опасным местам.
Time to go.
Stop. Don't move any further. Look there. And
Huh? Where? Oh, look! Those plants have withered! That whole area! Oh, Paimon,
that is the withering. All right, Traveler. We're gonna have to enter that withering zone. Once inside, we'll need to look for what we call tumors of the withering. If we eliminate those, then the area will be saved. Thank you. But I must warn you, don't push yourself. Even with elemental powers, once you step inside the withering zone, you may experience extreme discomfort. If at any point it becomes too much, return. You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone.
Into the wind. The wind knows me. Keep back! Into the wind.
Ну, что делать? Допустим. Не. А все, это атаковать. Ну. Что это такое? Я знаю.
The wind knows me.
Ёшкин дождь, да ж так.
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
Не понял, а что он получал? Какого фига?
One with nature.
Lighter, please.
Ё-моё, чё я так урон сильно получаю? Какого фига?
Into the
Кто
wind.
подскажет?
Rise.
Now, destroy the tumor of the withering.
Ёшкин дождь, что за хрень такая?
We did it! Everything's with...
Yes. Thanks to you two, we were able to quickly restore this area back.
Tainari? You make it sound like we did well, but...
It's that obvious, huh? Recently, the rate at which withering zones appear has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that withering zone, if that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife that depends on those plants. And most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase, Kale's case of
Huh? Well, why is...
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions. No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. It's said that it originates from... Oh, by the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense, you can base... I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times. The Dendro Archon is known as the God of Wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation. And as for the Withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's familiars a long time ago, but even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the Withering Zones here for a long time. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time.
Лучше отвернусь. Хотя... Да, я лучше отвернусь. Просто пройду чуть-чуть. Скажу сразу, сколько стрим будет, я точно не знаю. Поэтому ничего обещать не буду, сколько я его. Так, я даже сейчас хочу глянуть, как он уже идет. Просто интересно. Без минуты час, да. Будет, кстати, еще один стрим сегодня или нет, я тоже не знаю. Поэтому еще раз повторю, ничего обещать не буду.
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back.
The Withering Zone you reported has been taken care of. No... Huh? Wait, is that... Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you...
Oh, her? How could we forget?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Huh? All Paimon sees are...
Yes. Allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her... She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her at...
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all...
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... Well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still...
Let's find out. Here, Traveler. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling... But wait, how'd you know that...
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he... And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just for the nation of Sumer. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that duty has fallen to me. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. What you witnessed, I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us? Seriously, she completely ignored us the last time we tried talking to her.
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with us. Please, wait here.
Жду зависла игра.
Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her, and she'll answer any... No, I should be the one thanking you.
Я чувствую, короче, вообще еще чуть-чуть максимум, наверное, минимум еще минут 10, а вот сколько еще будет идти, я точно не знаю, может даже меньше. Я есть хочу пока. Есть вообще что-нибудь? По секретке или еще что-нибудь? Как бы упал в воду, да, считается?
Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area.
Что, больше что ли сейчас будет? Опять трехгодовая загрузка. Кстати, честно, вот клево, хотя бы вот такой экран темный, то вот загрузки игры, когда ты белый экран, вот, мне так глаза режет. Я вообще белый белый не люблю. Ну как сказать, в каком смысле? В смысле, когда экран белый. Или фон белый. Я вот даже вот, допустим, сижу вот в приложении, либо на сайте, допустим, там же тоже реманги получается. Я темную тему ставлю, потому что у меня белые глаза режет.
So hungry.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super...
Теперь понятно, игра прогружалась слишком.
Huh? How things out here end up...
Ладно, спущусь. Если что-нибудь скажут, нет, ничего. Эх, жарко. У него просто по карте... По карте найти соперников только подземелья. О, понял. Сундук.
Anyone knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Сколько ночи? 1000 урона, да? Подземелья Сумеру могут обитать гучи. Чё, типа? Я понял. Что ничего не понял. Так, мне просто пока интересно. Здесь что, куда проход идет? Дальше по зданию, наверное. Который я залазить не буду. Просто что. Бля, красиво как. Стоп.
What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Не, клевое перемещение. Один. Да. Где я теперь? Видно, да? Я как всегда через одно место все делаю. Я думал, мне куда-то туда надо. А сразу нельзя было, не? Шамачок вы, да? Что вы делать, да? Я вроде бы дома с водой вышел. Что, ничего не выпало даже? Офигеть. Полезно. Ай, козел. Да, давайте. Я же не напрягаюсь, просто 2000 с копейками. Ё-моё, аж не помню, что произошел пролаг такой резкий. Куда хоть поднимаемся? Прогрузка локации, да? Давай, тоже. Что такое, фиг знает. Ёшный дождь, как всегда, слепоша, конечно. Трудно камеру их поднять.
Follow the wind.
О, стой, там вид от первого лица был. Что за фигня?
What in Tibet is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Где я? Кто я? Почему я здесь, как говорят, сюда? И чё? Что сделать надо?
Into the wind.
Как мне туда попасть? Я там невидимая стенка, как мне туда попасть? Муж? Нет. Я что, да, что за фигня? И? Ну только что там что было.
Wind strike.
Блин, что мне делать? Что из фигня?
The wind knows me.
Светится что-то. Но что не так? За что он дашь? Ёшкин, да, сейчас, погодите, я кое-что гляну. Офигеть, я тупой, конечно. Ну, в принципе, что... Камни вот эти нужны, я это понял. Сейчас надо... О. И... Яма, я ж не понял, как картина стала, а не двор. Все, ну теперь хотя бы понятно, что делать. Не, ну серьезно, я бы сам не догадался. Наверное. Ну не, ну почему? Наверное, догадался, наверное, ключевой слог, не точно. Но спустя очень долгое время. Там бы еще час стрима был бы только, как я разгадывал бы, наверное, эту хрень. Что с ней сделать надо?
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind. Get back! Get back!
Fire hazard!
One with nature. Time to go. The wind knows me.
Что, все что ли?
Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We faced others like him before! What's wrong this—
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence, the bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey, but don't you fret now. Today will be...
The good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Oh, guess that makes... Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around.
Who's there? Tainari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us here to bring...
I see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even...
well, actually, we were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around.
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from...
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So, you're able to...
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had us...
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up... You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a...
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is...
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have... I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind... And at that very moment, in my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh! And then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they... I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter that you had... Sorry about that. Sounds like just...
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare some... Alright, we're out, Traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet...
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long.
Time for a light show!
Let's use the empty box that Tainari gave us since we are... Oh, it smells amazing!
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm... Even though everything you mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. and everyone at the Academy. You should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make spirit-born ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our sense. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth. Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question.
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experience the sensory Taking in any sense similar to the ingredients of Spirit-born ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry, though. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon. But unless you're using intentional I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could.
Whoa! You're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies, which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility.
Whoa. So knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Don't you ever feel
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as... I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the cure...
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can...
Ah, is that...
Yes, well, to an extent. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, the fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the God of Wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the Academia, and went on to become a researcher. Sure enough. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, it was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Earth?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I... World forget me. If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me. There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Кстати, что у нас это станет? То есть, помогало, да, тут все. Понятно. Ну, нас потерял. Было ваше, стало наше.
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly—
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the Academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the—
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned—
I see. Well, I figured that given his temper, he would come here and—
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort.
And what exactly does my—
You'll know once you've arrived in some—
And, how long—
there's no—
Do you mean to tell me that, despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the question? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a—
Tainari, but you—
so be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
Tainari, what was that?
It's nothing. Some people from the Academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my— But all that can wait.
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She—
Very good. Now that the Traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer.
That's right! We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can—
Sorry,
Well, do you at least know anyone?
let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short. Oh, how about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him— Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What is—
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this item is the very basis of Sumeru's. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! That's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave.
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so...
Thanks, Tainari.
Farewell, and good luck to you both.
Never mind.
I guess thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be...
There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends and sharing your... We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Oh? What is it?
It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember?
Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those.
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville. Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here.
Ля, наконец-то. Так, сюда ж там все примасы. Том 3, глава 1, да? А у меня сейчас что идет? Извиняюсь. Том 3, глава 1 краски, да? Ясно. А что у меня по примагенчикам? Да, крутил я его, получается, баннер, кстати. Вот, вот буквально вот этот, который был. 17 минут осталось, да. Ну, знаете, прикольно. Ну, короче, крутил я баннер, который был, да. И в итоге, так скажу, мне вместо эпик сразу. Ладно, сейчас пойти в историю зайду, проще будет, наверное, показать даже. Блин, даже не выйдет тогда показать. Ну, короче, сейчас... крутил я предыдущий баннер до и краски Юэмии. И сейчас мне выпал краски вот это чудо. Нафига он мне спрашивается? Ладно, проехали. Выпал. Созвездие. Что по трендам, кстати? Кажрак, да? Ну, прикольно, что я могу сказать. Так, ладно, я на этом стрим, пожалуй, закончу. Не знаю, будет стрим еще сегодня или нет. И на выходных тоже не знаю, будет или нет. Поэтому всем... Поэтому, как обычно, ничего обещать не буду. Извиняюсь, что заикаюсь. Ладно, всем спасибо за просмотр. Всем пока.